Joined now with Jon Clark, Clark Energy Consultant, to go over this week's OG brief. Drilling multi-mile laterals like nobody's business is what it's titled today. So, Jon Clark, how you doing?
Hey, Jason, doing well. Thank you for asking.
Well, let's go over this week's OG brief. What do you got for us for this week?
So yeah, this week I'd like to give a kudos to my buddies in drilling. We'll call this, I guess, Technical Thursday. The OG brief, like you mentioned, drilling multi-mile laterals like nobody's business. Quite a feat in horizontal drilling. In horizontal shale well drilling, a little lesson here: the terminal depth of a well is considered the toe, while the section of the curve near the curve in the lateral is called the heel. So if you ever hear someone mention lateral length, that's basically the heel to toe section of a well, the horizontal section that gets fracked and produced. You know, about a decade ago, lateral lengths were drilled somewhere around a mile, maybe less than a mile, less than 5,000 feet. And I was looking at a chart, and that was what prompted this OG brief that's showing average lateral lengths by play. The chart is up and to the right, and lateral lengths continue to grow each quarter in every basin. And it's really a testament to the technology and the learning curve of, shale drilling. And that's the primary technology that's allowed for oil and gas extraction and shale resources. And it's just interesting to see that it continues to grow. It's something I've experienced. Last year, the company I was with drilled a 3-mile lateral in the Permian. So we're talking 15,000 feet. And to be able to go from 5,000 to 15,000 feet laterals in, less than a decade is quite an accomplishment. So I wanted to touch on that and kind of talk about a little bit on, what it means for the business and kind of what I expect to see going forward in 2020. So the reason lateral length is important, and I often speak to clients who ask about macro trends and kind of the impacts on shale developments, and so that's what I'll talk about today. As you drill longer wells, ultimately more oil and gas can be produced, ultimately a fundamental driver in draining shale resources with less wells and a smaller surface impact. If you think back to the days of gushers in vertical wells, I've seen pictures of rigs stacked on top of rigs, and it's quite a mess. But so, to be able to say that we're able to produce oil and gas with a small environmental footprint is huge. Not everyone talks about that, but it is a testament to the technology and how we're able to reduce our surface impact. So the key here is that more oil can be produced with less wells. So what does that mean? As investors continue to demand capital austerity, one of the best solutions is to drill longer laterals, and that's evidence in the data. This is because ultimately return on capital employed, you may hear this as ROCE, is significantly higher as you drill longer wells compared to many other well-design factors. So all that means is the longer well you drill, the better chance at producing oil at a lower cost. But their longer wells don't come without their own risks and complexities. A few of those risks include getting stuck, errors in window targeting, being able to run casing to bottom, being able to cement the whole well, increasing the number of interventions, also known as trips, needed for plug and perf, and milling of those plugs, in addition to limitations on the plug milling reach. There certainly have been advances in the technology that have helped solve these problems as engineers continue to prove longer wells as viable to producing more with less, a key trend in 2020. So compared with last year, rig count is down about 25%, while frac crews are down around 33%. years ago, one frac crew could service around 2 drilling rigs. But due to efficiencies and advancements in the rig technology and being able to drill longer wells, we're seeing that now one frac crew will service around 2.5 to 3 rigs. And a lot of the rigs that have been laid down are the less performing rigs. So the rigs that can drill these long wells are the ones that are active right now. But we've continued to see more wells being completed and drilled with less number of rigs, so also a testament to the technology. So in this OG brief I'll publish, you'll see the chart. It's up and to the right, and I think 3-mile laterals are becoming the norm, whereas a decade ago we were drilling 1-mile laterals. So that's kind of the topic for this week's OG brief, and glad to share it.